Hi there everybody, Ewan Spence here, back in Scotland and the end of the Nokia 5800 video diaries, and it's been a good adventure. It's been a different way of reviewing phones, even though we've already done the comprehensive write-ups from Steve and Ray from the 5800. I'm glad that you've all enjoyed what was a rather long-winded, rather large mileage experiment. Two comments that have come up in your comments I think typifies very well. The first one was in about the second or third video diary. Somebody said, it's great watching Ewan fall in love with the 5800. And the second comment was, you're not going to be heard by Nokia's PR department now, are you? And I think both of those are exactly true. The 5800 is a very nice device, and as you'll hear when we get to the end of this, I really like this and I'm quite happy to keep a hold of it, which, you know, we go through a lot of phones at All About Symbian, and S60s from Nokia's and from Panasonic's. Most of them go up. Some of them we buy so we can have them ourselves. And I have to say, really liking the 5800 and would be tempted. But there are still a lot of things wrong with it. And I think the best way to point this out is that when you hand this over to power users of smartphones, people who know phones, they will drive huge numbers of holes through the 5800, through the interface, through the speed and so on. A great example is I had it to Chris Dunphy, formerly Palm Source, now is Tech Nomad, living out of a caravan as he tours around America. Hi Chris. And his question after having a good 10-15 minute play with the 5800 was, how far away is it from final release? I had to say that's the current build and it's out there. And he's like, shocked. In a bad way. Because in his words, you can see the lack of speed, you can see transitions between screens and so on and so on. You hand this to somebody who just, you know, your man in the street. And I certainly met a lot of them. CC Chapman springs to mind. And this phone, relatively easy to use, easy to understand, good on the stylus, good screen interaction. They could find the things that they wanted to do with it. There's a certain disconnect between the advanced users and the regular users in the 5800. I know as advanced users go, oh, why haven't you tested this? Why haven't you done that? And so on. Well, I think Nokia actually have, but they've just tested it on normal people, as opposed to people who would prefer to have a command line on their phone rather than a nice graphical interface. Now, speaking of the graphical interface, Series 60, 5th edition, or Series 60, 3rd edition with touch added, you know, I can see why Nokia decided rather than go for a brand new touch interface device, they've overlaid touch onto S60. That means that there's a huge amount of compatibility and understanding for existing users. New users will find it's a weird thing to do. And some places are like, why is it like that? Whereas our answer is, it's always been like that. But I think that was the correct choice to make for a device like this. It gives them experience in touch. It gives them lots of user feedback. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with this. It's not more or less complicated than a Windows mobile device or a BlackBerry or even the iPhone. It's just that the phone itself has more complex features than an iPhone, and about the same level as Windows Mobile. People complain about the Windows Mobile interface, yet millions of people around the world still use it, and it's the same with Series 60. So I had issues with the interface, as you've heard, but I don't think there's anything unsurmountable that would stop me using it, and I'm really, really happy with this phone. I mean, just to make sure I don't get hired by Nokia's PR department for this one, the one thing I'm going to complain about here are the buttons at the very bottom of the screen. They're just regular buttons. I would have loved these to have either a touch sensitive area around them in the same way that you do at the media bar, or whatever they call that, at the bottom, so you could use the stylus and your finger as well. When you're using the stylus and you want to jump to the application screen, from here to here, styluses with little points can't really press this key. You have to literally use your finger. I'd love to have seen these changed to buttons with recessed grooves in, like the original Palms had, so I could still use the stylus on the buttons if you were going to have buttons there. It not make them touch around or lose them altogether. Actually, no, keep them. It's nice to have a good solid press when you're hanging up and answering calls. But make it so that we can use the stylus on them. Now, money on the table. I've already said I like the 5800 and I would probably want to keep it. there are issues. But I can remember the issues that I had with my original Nokia N95. I'm now on the N95 8GB. Hello, camera. And it's went through lots of iterations, lots of firmware upgrades, and lots of small tweaks. The 5800 hasn't been through any of them yet. It's had one major upgrade in the firmware up to version 20. 21's on its way. I expect there to be at least another 3 or 4 of those. So I think by the end of this year, by the end of 2009, the 5800 software is going to be rock solid. All the kinks are going to be sorted out, and it's going to be a really good, reliable phone in the same mold as the N95. This is one of the few Nokias that's recently given me the confidence that it's going on. When you look at them like the N85, the N96, there's always that, oh, we've done a bit more. Yeah, we've tried that. The 5800 feels not like, oh, we've done a bit. The 5800 feels like we know what we're doing. We know it takes time. Join us on the journey. And I believe the, strange as it may sound to those of you out there who've seen a rather cynical side of me, I actually believe them. I think the 5800 is a really good device. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of people carrying over to the N97, and that is going to be a complete new touch query-based experience, and I think that that's going to be very interesting, and the power users are going to love that. But I think for regular users, people looking for a smartphone that just gets the job done and has really good tools all the way around and does more than any other smartphone out there at a really good price, the 5800 is a really good device. And as soon as Mobi Pocket get their ebook reader sorted out so it actually works all the way through and saves positions, this is going to be my primary phone. Until then, it's the N95 8GB. But this is really, really close. Really close. Anyway, just want to say thank you to everybody who has joined me on my journey over these last 3 weeks. Rafe and Steve, as always, deserve a big thanks. Rafe for saying, let me free with a video. We can do lots of videos and I just stay stuff. And Steve for doing the editing while I was on the road. Thank you to them. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for Nokia for loaning us the 5800. Disclosures there should apply. We'll wrap it all up and get it away, and I'll try and find out where I can buy one. And generally, I hope you've enjoyed it. Certainly, we hear all about Symbian. I've got a lot to look over on the feedback, which you can still pop in either through the comments or an email. Ewan Spence. No, not Ewan Spence at gmail.com. That's my private one. Ewan at allaboutSymbian.com or Steve or Rafe at allaboutSymbian.com will get to us. Thank you very much for watching. Really, this is the end. But if you want more of these, then let us know. Till then, for now, rearrange that. I'm going to blame jet lag. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.